imagine how it would be if Kenneth Grant, the Michigan Giant, joined the Detroit Lions? In today's Lions News Fan Report, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most fascinating speculations for the 2025 draft. Could this physically imposing defender from Michigan be the piece that turns the Detroit Lions defense around? Stay tuned as we explore why he could be the key to the future of Detroit's defensive line and how his presence could bring a new era of dominance to the franchise. As the 2025 season approaches, the Detroit Lions have a significant task ahead of them to strengthen their defense. The team has a solid foundation, with players like Alim McNeill and DJ Reader holding down the interior of the defensive line. However, one thing is clear: the depth in this area needs improvement. McNeill and Reader are good, but as we've seen over the last few seasons, the team needs more options along the defensive interior to compete with the top offenses in the league. That's where Kenneth Grant comes into play as a potential game-changing addition. The Detroit Lions, who have been on a continuous rebuilding path under general manager Brad Holmes, have several areas to address this offseason, but the defensive line is clearly a priority. When we look at the interior defensive line, it's easy to see that the Lions need more power, more presence, more impact. While McNeill and Reader are good players, it's undeniable that the team lacks depth, especially with uncertainty surrounding Levi Onwuzurike, who will become a free agent this offseason. This creates the perfect opportunity for the Lions to fill that gap with elite talent, and that talent might very well be Kenneth Grant. What makes Grant so intriguing? First off, the Michigan product is an absolute physical specimen. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 345 pounds, he's a defensive tackle with rare strength, speed, and explosion. These qualities make him an immediate threat against both the run and pass. His burst off the line, ability to control the line of scrimmage, and sheer power to blow up double teams are all traits that make him an ideal fit for the Lions' defense. For Detroit, which desperately needs a more powerful presence in the middle of the defensive line, Grant could be the exact type of player to provide that needed strength and aggression. With Levi Onwuzurike set to become a free agent, the need for a player like Grant becomes even more urgent for the Lions. If Detroit can't retain Onwuzurike, they'll be left with a significant hole in the defensive interior. This hole could be immediately filled by someone like Grant, who has the size, skill, and mentality to compete at the highest level. But the big question is, will the Detroit Lions have the opportunity to select Grant in the 2025 draft? Grant had an impressive final season with the Michigan Wolverines, recording 3 sacks, 23 quarterback hurries, and more importantly, receiving a strong 87.5 grade from Pro Football Focus against the run. This puts him among the best at his position. This is a huge advantage for the Detroit Lions, who have struggled to stop the run in recent seasons. But what really makes Grant such an attractive pick for the Lions is his versatility. He's not just a great run defender, he's also an effective pass rusher capable of pressuring the quarterback consistently. His ability to excel at both fronts makes him a complete defender, which is exactly what Detroit needs to balance out their defensive line. With McNeill and Reader already on the team, Grant would be the perfect complement, giving the Lions a truly dominant defensive front capable of shutting down the run and pressuring the quarterback. Scouts and NFL analysts have begun to realize just how valuable Grant can be. Many see him as one of the top defensive line prospects of the 2025 class, and it's easy to see why. His combination of size, skill, and explosion makes him a defender who can completely change the dynamic of any game. For the Detroit Lions, who have been working hard to establish a solid defensive line, Grant would be the perfect addition to turn that unit into one of the most feared in the NFL. What also stands out is Grant's development potential. He already possesses the physical tools to be an elite player, but there's still room for growth in terms of his technique and conditioning. If Brad Holmes and the Lions can help him develop, Grant has the potential to become a defensive star in the NFL, capable of being a centerpiece for years to come. For Detroit, this is an attractive proposition, as the team has shown it can develop young talent and help players reach their full potential. Additionally, Grant has the type of mentality that fits perfectly into the culture the Lions are building. He is known for his competitive drive, work ethic, and dedication to improving every day. These are qualities that the Lions have been seeking in their players in recent years, and Grant would fit right into that environment. Adding Grant to Detroit's defensive line wouldn't just improve the defense's performance. It would also strengthen the team's overall competitive mindset. Detroit's defensive line has long been a weakness, but with Kenneth Grant potentially joining the team, the franchise could be looking at a much stronger future. The addition of a player like Grant could allow the Lions to compete with top-tier offenses in the NFC and beyond. The Lions' defensive front would instantly become more physical, intimidating, and capable of making game-changing plays, something the team has lacked in recent seasons. This could be the turning point that Detroit has been waiting for to finally become a legitimate contender in the NFC. Another key aspect of Grant's game is his ability to disrupt opposing quarterbacks. While his primary role might be to stop the run, he's more than capable of being a consistent force in the pass rush. His size and athleticism make him a nightmare for offensive lines, and if he were paired with McNeil and Reeder, Detroit could field one of the most formidable defensive fronts in the NFL. Grant's ability to collapse the pocket and create pressure could change the way Detroit defends against high-powered offenses, providing an edge that's been missing from the team for years. While many teams will be vying for his services in the draft, the Detroit Lions have a unique opportunity to land Grant. With a strong front office and a committed coaching staff, the Lions are poised to develop a player of Grant's caliber into a true star. With proper guidance, he could elevate not just the defensive line but the entire defense, making the Lions a team that other NFL franchises will have to take seriously on both sides of the ball. Detroit's culture of player development could help Grant reach his full potential faster, making him a crucial piece in their defense. Finally, let's not forget about the future of the Detroit Lions. With a solid defensive foundation, including the possible addition of Grant, the Lions could be setting themselves up for long-term success. As the team continues to grow, the infusion of talent and potential leadership from players like Grant could propel Detroit into a new era, one where they can challenge for championships and become perennial contenders in the NFC. Grant could be the missing link the Lions need to make the jump from a rebuilding team to a contender for the years to come. Now, here's the big question. Will Grant be available when the Lions make their pick in the 2025 draft? The truth is that many analysts believe Grant has potential to be a top 15 selection, meaning he could be picked well before the Lions' 28 overall pick. This puts the franchise in a tricky position, as they'll have to decide whether it's worth trading up to secure Grant, or if they should wait and see if he falls to their current spot. If he's available at pick 28, the Lions can't hesitate. They need to act quickly and secure such a valuable talent. If Grant is selected by the Lions, he would be a transformative addition. His presence in the interior of the defensive line could allow Detroit to become a much stronger defense, capable of going toe-to-toe with any offense in the NFL. In a draft with so much talent available, Grant stands out as one of the most valuable prospects, and if the Lions can land him, it would be a huge step in solidifying one of the most critical areas of their team. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Kenneth Grant is the missing piece the Detroit Lions need to strengthen their defensive line and achieve success in 2025? If you enjoyed this video and are excited about the 2025 draft possibilities, don't forget to follow our channel, Lions News Fan Report. We're here to bring you all the latest insights about the future of the Lions and analyze the best prospects who could transform the franchise.